is the K-Pop Cast, and in this week's episode, we're discussing the hot issues of the week, from NJZ updates to the YG leaker, and more.
We also share our hit replays from Le Sserafim and 10.
But before we get into those topics, don't forget to join the K-Pop Cast listener fam on Slack and help chip in for the show's costs. Links to those in the episode description.
And now for hit replays.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm your PD-nim Michaela, everybody. And hit replays are, of course, our K-pop song recommendations for the week. So kick us off, Stephanie. I think we're doubling up our replays again this week.
Yep, I tried not to, but when it came down to it, I had to double dip, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
My hit replay is 10, Stunner. All right, so if you didn't listen to our last episode where I also picked 10 as my hit replay, quick refresher, 10 is a Thai all-rounder, multi-talented idol who debuted in 2016 in SM Entertainment's group NCT. He is also so talented that he is a member of Wavy, Super M, and was it SM Station or SM Performance? What he's just like always picked to be in every group, and there's a reason for that. If you take a look at the stunning music video for Stunner, which I believe is the title track for 10's latest album, Stunner is a showcase of 10's his dance ability doesn't accurately encompass what I'm trying to say. 10 is a true entertainer. 10 is a joy to watch. From everything from his facial expressions to the tips of his fingers to his hair choreo and how he moves is both graceful and powerful, beautiful, fun, silly, all at the same time. Flirty, groovy, all of that. And the song itself is a really nice R&B pop mix with some groove and some ominous synth R&B sounds. I think it really goes well with his voice, which can go both delicate falsetto and a little deeper. So it's just it's 5 songs in one in a good way.
In the best way.
In the best way. Exactly. And a fun fact is that there is a Korean version and an English version of this song on the album. The Korean version expresses a growing love towards a person of interest who has unexpected charm. But in the English version, the lyrics talk about, I, myself, am the shining, stunning being. So self-love, love for others.
There's the temptation and the tempter.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah,
exactly. He is both. He contains multitudes.
I love how this music video, in comparison to at least the last album, the last release that he had with Nightwalker, it did surprise me a little bit how kind of normal it was from at least his styling. He looked a little bit less scary. But what was really unsettling about the music video was the dancers, because you just see them surrounding him in these mounds of writhing bodies. It was very it added to the seductive elements of all the lyrics that were happening in this song.
Oh yes, sensual to the max.
Because you can see he is the tempter.
He is. Oh, and the way he looks at the camera. Catch that music video. I was gonna say, I have been pleasantly am I surprised that SM has offered him such high production quality has offered him on his last two projects, this album and the last one. The quality is just really high.
Yeah.
And I love that, especially because he's not an ethnically Korean idol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to, keep watch out for that, that there's fair treatment. And it seems like SM is really investing in him and his career. I wish they would do a little more promotion, but just in terms of the production of these songs and these videos, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and especially as him, it's great because now he's got this second album out. Mark has his album out, so we've got these 5 members, the establishing members of NCT, all Jaehyun, Taeyoung, and Doyoung also have now, after almost over a decade of debut, been able to release very great and solo content that really establishes themselves and like what their individual colors are after putting in, especially 10, so much work and effort over the past few years.
He's one of the hardest working men in K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely in SM. So props to him. All right, Michaela, I think we've got another double dip hit replay coming from you.
Yeah, this is mentally I'm still here. I'm mentally still with LE SSERAFIM's album. If you don't know who LE SSERAFIM is, or you don't know anything about the album that the song comes from, I would send you back over to our LE SSERAFIM Hot album review. But my hit replay is from that album, and it is a remix of their song Come Over, the funk remix. Yeah, so a few days or like a week after we talked about LE SSERAFIM's Hot, they released Come Over as its own music video, its own single. And they also released a bunch of remixes of the song. And for me, the funk remix really stood out because I feel like one is a great addition to the sounds that were part of the original, but it also, like, I think improves upon where the original is more trying to do a period thing. This one is more just like a party thing. And for me, the Hot album is all about kind of like the after party. And so this is a great, I don't know, I just really love it. That's all I have to say. Like I said, I'm still listening to the LE SSERAFIM album, and I really love this remix. My only quibble is that it is really just the original vocals, just kind of mixed for the song, not necessarily like a re-recorded vocal. And I feel like with the remixes, this one does it the best, but the other ones aren't as good just because the vocals are just, the morphed version of the original recording. I would have loved to have maybe heard them re-record for the bossa nova sound, for the other kind of remixed versions that they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's always the wish, the ideal, is that the artists would, do something special. But maybe live we can see that.
Right? Because, again, they're going on tour in
like
the
everyone else.
Awesome.
My wallet.
The crazy, wait, what is it? Crazy, smart, cool. No.
Oh, right.
No, not smart.
Not easy.
We talked about that.
Wait, crazy, easy.
Easy, smart, hot. No, easy, crazy, hot.
Crazy, easy. Yeah, easy, crazy,
crazy,
hot.
Easy, hot. Crazy.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think you got it.
Yeah, but anyway.
All the things you want to be.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my hit replay. We're still listening to 10. We're still listening to LE SSERAFIM this week.
Exactly. They keep on giving.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I guess it's now time to move on to the girl groups that aren't so hot right now, I guess, right?
Your segues are always on point.
Well,
Yeah.
so our hot issues of the week, guys, of course, we're talking about New Jeans, Kiss of Life, and the YG leaker. But we're gonna kick it off with New Jeans because we haven't talked about them in a minute, and there's some updates to kind of what's going on with them as far as the contract issues. So the very, very simplified key points. Again, we've covered this many an episode. But right now, as far as what's going on with New Jeans, because they are technically now New Jeans, because as of March 21st, a court ruled in favor of Adore in an injunction that they had filed that they are no longer able to independently promote as NJZ while they are currently being sued by Adore and Hybe for nullifying their contracts with them. So that's why now we've seen them remove all the NJZ branding from their socials because technically, legally, as far as like what the courts have ruled, they can no longer use that. And especially for any other additional contracts that they want to sign with any advertisers under that name. So that's just kind of where we are. So it's not really looking good as far as where the end of this lawsuit is going to end up for them, because right now we've only been going through the hearings. There's been no official ruling on the lawsuit, but the fact that they ruled against them in the injunction doesn't look good.
Last time we spoke about this on the podcast, we were expressing some cautious optimism or hopes that perhaps this could be a precedent for artists who want to break out of their label contracts and go independent. We noted that unlike previous cases where idols had sued their labels and successfully gotten out by proving that they were under a slave contract, or they proved that the label was committing gross abuse, mistreatment. We didn't really see those claims come from New Jeans here as they were seeking to nullify. They kind of went for the argument that we're not the company is not being as collaborative or supportive of our creative expression and freedom as we want. And I just don't think that there's a legal argument to be made for what they were saying. So, we were hopeful that maybe, we could see something different here, but doesn't look like the courts are ready for that. So unfortunately, it's going to be awkward walking back into the studio.
Yeah, because so far our predictions, or at least what we talked about, like what could happen if things didn't go well for them. We said, like they would just go back to Adore. And, you just talked about setting precedent. Adore said after their hearing on April 3rd that they need to possibly review what a breakdown of trust actually involves, and maybe consider that for future long-term contracts going forward. So, because New Jeans was talking specifically about the trust that they had with Adore had been broken, and that was one of the big things that they were saying, at least in their public PR, about why they decided to break with Adore and Hybe. Not necessarily the a lack of settled payments or any other things that are more solid than we've seen in precedent for other cases.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely grounds for, ending a relationship, an interpersonal relationship, or like leaving if you're an at-will employee and, the trust is broken. Yeah, you can leave, but these are not at-will employees. They're under an exclusive contract, and they would need to hit like a legal threshold and show, okay, like the company has done something illegal to you in order for them to get out. So it's going to be pretty awkward. But look at what Adore says. We eagerly anticipate meeting with the artist for a heartfelt conversation at the earliest opportunity.
Oh, gosh.
They're going to lock the doors, turn off the lights.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God, though, that it seems like, at least from the PR from the original NJZ accounts, which are supposedly all managed by the parents of the members, that they are still united together against whatever decision they have against leaving a door. Like, it's good that they're still making sure, maintaining that, and like getting rid of any rumors that maybe this member didn't actually want to leave a door or anything like that. They're making sure that they're still standing strong, even though this is not a really good situation to be in right now for them.
That's a really good point. All the members are still together, aligned.
And this is just one hearing of many, many more to come, because this is only one of the lawsuits that happened.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right. The first hearing.
Yeah, so we'll follow back up with them in maybe a few more weeks and see how this is going.
Yep. All right. So possibly an even bigger story, at least among international or US fans on TikTok and Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
There's an account calling themselves the YG Leaker started posting video clips, started posting rumors or confirming rumors from YG and maybe from other labels. And this person identifies themselves as a disgruntled, fired employee who says that YG is a workplace riddled with harassment, racism, and sexism. I despise this entire company. And so all of us overseas are like, ooh, juicy. What's going on? They opened a Discord. And did you get into the Discord? I didn't.
Oh, no, I wasn't even going to try.
But this is so, it just like reminds me of the good old days in like Gen 2. Where stuff would be leaked or scandals would break and everybody would just run to the Soupy forums or the all K-pop comment section and just debate and try to be reporters, and none of us are. So it just kind of, it's really sad, of course, for the artists who has maybe had unsavory details exposed, but for us fans, it is, hey, it's like TMZ, gossip, drama, titillating kind of stuff.
Yeah, these unseen parts of the industry that we're technically not supposed to be seeing, that we're finally getting access to. And then also kind of nostalgia. I mean, a lot of the major clips that were going around were specifically related to BlackPink, because, you know, they're the biggest name at YG right now. And a lot of their pre-debut training videos, where for in some cases was like really interesting to see how far that they've come just as performers, like watching them perform, but then also to see how far we haven't come as far as the industry standards, or at least how companies are training their artists.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is BlackPink and CL from 21 being recorded singing along or covering American rap and R&B songs, and just with their full chest saying the N-word. No hesitation, no qualms about it. I'm not sure what year the clips are from. They seem kind of grainy, so they're a few years old at least, but it's just a disappointing, sobering reminder of what we already knew, that the K-pop industry, that many of the artists, the labels are, willfully ignorant or willfully defiant and not caring about how Black fans might feel as they just go ahead and perform these songs with impunity. Right. I'm sure it definitely reawakens the bitter, sour taste in many of us Black K-pop fans' mouth. Even though the clips are old, it's like, how much farther we have to go.
Right. And I mean, to their credit, I mean, these are older videos. These were things that happened in the past. But another group this week is catching heat for the things that they're doing currently.
Not right? Strays. They're catching full on deserved.
I know. I was about to say Strays, but like, no, they did this to themselves.
Well, look, so I'm like scrolling through TikTok, right? My For You page is full of like YG leaker content talking about, Kai is bisexual and that's why Jenny broke up with him. I'm like, what?
What?
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't believe like 90% of the rumor stuff that this account is posting. But then I started seeing Kiss of Life clips where they're in big like oversized caps and gold chains and like snapping their fingers. And I was like, wait a minute, this clip seems HD quality. This seems recent. I thought it was part of the leaks, but no.
No.
Just in really unfortunate timing, Kiss of Life decided to live stream something so stupid. I think it was Julie's idea.
It was for her birthday. It was a live stream celebrating her birthday. And so it was a concept for the live stream. Or at least that's what they were saying.
She decided for the concept for her birthday to be quote unquote old school hip hop, like G Unit, 50 Cent. And they could have stopped at wearing the fashion, right?
Yes.
That might have been half forgiven. It's not a great look, but at least they're not in braids, right? But actually, no. So someone was in braids. But no, they had to be eating fried chicken. They had to be imitating with the way they move their head and the way that they speak and use phrases. Like, someone was saying, like, I ain't talked to your man or something. And it just was beyond the pale, above and beyond, especially given two members, including Julie herself, grew up in the United States. Yeah, she grew up in Hawaii. No excuse. Zero excuse. What were you thinking? You can't do that.
Right. And that's been the general consensus, at least for what I've been seeing, is that with the fact that there are two American members and the fact that Belle apologized and asked people not to leave the fandom is a clear recognition that they at least recognized that what they were doing was going to cause an issue. Where we did talk about, though, that the fact that this isn't just a failure on the members' part. We do have to hold the company into account for this because, again, they were the one that set it all up. They
provided the fried chicken, I'm sure.
They provide the costume. Just so I want to give them a little bit of the benefit and the grace in the fact that they are idols under a company and are meant to follow whatever the company's decision is, because that's kind of what it is. But again,
for this.
That still doesn't excuse the fact that it's 2025 and we're still doing this.
Come on, man. We were rooting for you.
Right.
We, especially Black K-pop fans, were rooting for Kiss of Life. Rooting for Natty, who's been at it for so long. Rooting for Julie. Rooting for Belle. Like, this is supposed to be the group pulling together the ones who weren't supposed to make it. The ones who worked hard and the ones who, like, finally get a chance to sing like grown R&B, grown folks music. Like, that's for us, right? And so it just puts on the table again, like, is there really such thing as the distinction between cultural appreciation and appropriation in K-pop? Can it be done? Is it real? I'm losing hope, y'all.
And to be honest, my hopes were never that high to begin with, just because we've been in this K-pop game for a minute. Every generation has this moment, especially with girl groups. Like, I saw this and immediately went back to Mamamoo and kind of using them kind of as a reference for maybe how this will work out for Kiss of Life, in the sense that Mamamoo did full brown face for what was it, Bruno Mars cover, and they still were able to get to the place that they were in their careers. And so then my question for you, Stephanie, is this a turning point? Do we think that this is really going to affect them long term, or Is this just something that's going to temporarily affect them, and then we'll maybe see them rise from the ashes of the heat
Man.
that they're getting right now?
I mean, anybody can change, right? I'm thinking about a TikTok I saw around this, which was someone who said that she's a marketer or a PR professional, one of those, and she was saying that, like, hey, this is an example of why K-pop stars are never going to make it to the level of Western stardom. I was like, ooh, what are you saying? She was like, yeah, because they're not PR trained enough. They keep like falling flat on their face on stuff like this. And, I brought that to Peter, our resident PR professional, and he said, well, it's not necessarily PR training so much as the label and decision makers need to be more, need to have more like cultural competency. Like they need to actually be in relationship where they actually listen and understand and are interested in and curious in race relations in the United States. And we're just so far from that. We're only now starting to see like diversity trainings happen in certain music labels, but that just means that the idols are getting some one-liners about why it's not good to put braids in your hair. We're still seeing braids to this day, by the way. But Peter is absolutely right that the decision makers at the label, the producers, the stylists, the like everybody at all levels would need to be bought in to why this stuff is wrong and why it's not a good direction for the business, and it actually goes against the model they're operating under, which is taking from Black culture is good for business. So it's not a mistake that we keep ending up here. It is that these companies willfully, intentionally take from Black culture. Sometimes, yes, hire and pay Black people in the process, but there's not that deeper level of relationship, humility, understanding about what matters to the Black people. I'm not sure if what it's going to take to get there, but it's a lot.
It's going to take more than a handwritten letter. I'll tell them that.
No more handwritten letters. Over it. What did they say in the letter? It was embarrassing. They said, oh, we... oh gosh, I'm looking at looking at the notes here, and Julie declared in the video, "Lil Taco Bell be flirting with my man, and that's right, not a bestie." Oh, Julie, yeah. Julie, no, Julie's the one who be twerking on stage on tour, and like we be clapping for that, but this is the dark side. Where she learns to do that, she also picked up the mannerisms of speech and just took without thinking. And so in
Julie
the letter,
also had her own N-word video from the past pop up.
Oh yeah,
as part of this.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, we took the concept too far. We didn't realize the content was culturally insensitive. We promised to do better." Whatever. It's like Black people is not a concept. We've known that. We've known that for so long. Yeah. So disappointing. I don't know what's next. I think, sure, and anybody can come back in K-pop, especially after just offending Black people. People thrive after that because it doesn't really matter to the businesses at the end of the day.
And
they issue a quick apology and bounce back.
With Kiss of Life, they have established themselves not with just a strong international fan base, but they also are growing a very solid Korean fan base.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I haven't done a lot of digging as far as like Korean reactions to this and what that's been. Yeah. But it's definitely not coming up on my feed, and I have a pretty pretty diverse feed when it comes to both of those. So we'll see. We'll see if it really affects them in the long term, at least with the Korean audience, because
why would it?
Right? Yeah.
Hate to be so cynical, but we've just been here, like you said, we've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
We've been K-pop fans for like decades at this point.
Heartbroken so many times.
Wow.
Okay. But we still love it. We're still here.
Also, Jay Park is going on tour this year. Are you going? I'm going. I mean, so just like erase everything I just said. Hypocrites in the house. Whatever, man. Yeah. So I just feel like history repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then here yet again.
And then what are the things that we think is it going to be that label by that Italian man? Is that
oh
can we trust?
Oh yeah, that will solve everything.
When foreign producers come in and start making groups, is that going to make the difference with this 5th gen?
Oh, I'm skeptical of that too.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. That they're going to be debuting at the end of next month, I think, or this month.
Okay,
so
let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Yeah, if some new blood in the girl group stream can reinvigorate.
Because if Kiss of Life is the beginning of the 5th, or like the 5th gen girl groups, this isn't going great.
No. No. It's not.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's hoping that our beloved girl groups can, learn the lessons they need.
Mm-hmm.
They can grow. They can bounce back. We love a girl group on the K-pop cast. And yeah, everybody's human.
Mm-hmm.
So we're keeping the hope alive a little bit.
Yeah. Hoping that the YG leaker doesn't come out with work. Because again, so far he's just been the YG leaker, but we still got SM. We still got Hybe. We still got Starship. I personally hope it's very light things. I hope it's like all the comebacks that were scrapped that we couldn't get, like Kangta's song that never came out because he was caught
I know.
cheating.
Give us something we actually want to see. Unreleased dance practices and stuff.
Yeah.
Come on.
So many unreleased EXO dance practices. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting heated about all of the content on those SM servers that have
practices.
Yes. They only do that when they try to cover up scandals. Anyway.
Could that be the reason for this round of leaks? And why the labels haven't made any statements?
Then which scandal is it? Is it the Kim Soo-hyun?
Somebody said about him covering up the Kim Soo-hyun scandal. I'm rooting for him too, man.
Okay.
Falls from grace all over.
We'll maybe get into that in the future.
Yeah.
Depending on how that goes.
Yeah. All right.
I don't have an ending. I think this is it. I wish we were ending on a more positive note.
That was kind of like a blast from the past where we would do the news roundups. The Daebak or not, the hot issue, like going through the news items of the day. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. General theme. Girl groups are going through it. I didn't even talk about Red Velvet. Oh my gosh.
Red Velvet. No, yeah, really quick.
Just that update for the Rebel Loves out there. Wendy and Yeti have left SM as solo artists, but not as Red Velvet. So assuming that this is just them, taking a step forward in their solo careers, and hopefully more opportunities that they have been kept from are now open to them. And so we are coming at this with a very positive vibe, and we're not sad about it at all, because we've been preparing for this, to be honest, for a little bit. That Red Velvet was probably going to be on hiatus for a minute. Yeah, because that SM Town, when it was just the 3 of them, and Yeti and Wendy were not on the stage, kind of solidified that feeling.
Yeah. Well, good for the soloists and for whoever else is.
Right. I can't wait to hear all of Yeri's music, because I know that girl.
I don't know too much about her.
Exactly, because they they haven't given her a solo career. See, there we go. There's my positive. Be on the lookout for Yeri and Wendy's solo music, y'all.
Will do. Sounds good. So let's wrap it up by letting our listeners know where they can find us on the socials. You can find me at Catchlight27 on Instagram.
And I'm at PD-nim on our K-Pop Cast Slack. And of course, you can follow all of us on the K-Pop Cast Slack.
And if you want to support the show, please consider donating to our Ko-fi. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.